It has finished Altrincham 1, Tamworth 2 here at the J Davidson Stadium here tonight, and Phil Parkinson, the Altrincham manager, joins us. Phil, we've lost 9 games this season, but in many ways was that the most difficult one to take?
Yeah, it was. We were nowhere near the levels we've set this season. I said I was disappointed with Boreham Wood away, but we've been beaten by a very good team there. And Tamworth are a strong team in this division, physically strong, really good on set pieces, which we analysed in a lot of detail. All their goals, I think bar 2, come from set pieces, but we knew they were vulnerable from that as well. So the way we exploited one, we should have had another one with Tom Crawford as well, disallowed goal, but that's how it's going for us at the moment. But in no way, shape or form did we deserve to get anything tonight. We were well below par, lacked attacking threat. Not enough players affecting the game the way they're capable of, not enough aggression to see a game through when, even when you're not playing, you're scintillating best. Being able to get over the line in games is just a trait that's lacking in this group at the moment. We have got players missing. We obviously desperately want the likes of Carell, Ollie, Crankshaw back on the pitch, which give us a lot of attacking threat. But we've still got enough on there to do more than what we did there. So, very difficult evening for us, very difficult.
And yet, first half and in the early part of the second half, the football was very good at times. We got in down both wings, plenty of good balls delivered in, but we're not quite there for the final touch at the minute.
No, for me, we were a blunt knife up the top end of the pitch. We weren't anywhere near what we've showed this season. There's been games where we've lost and we shouldn't have lost, we should have won. With the opportunities we created, we didn't create anywhere near enough opportunities, didn't make the right decisions at the right times, weren't good enough in 1v1 scenarios, weren't good enough when we did create overloads to find the final pass. And then when you can't do that, you've got to keep a clean sheet, and we've not been good enough to do that. So I'm not going to stand in front of the camera and make excuses for any of us tonight. We got what we deserved, because they could have scored a couple more. The opening chance that they had, where the lad's gone through from a mistake of ours. An opportunity in the second half where I think Dan's slipped and it's hit him rather than a deliberate block. But to concede the goals that we have is scandalous, not acceptable. And yeah, we've got to take a medicine.
Yeah, Kennedy Digi returning to his former club, and to be fair to him, he's had a really good game today, strong in both boxes. And we got a warning because seconds before he equalised, Elliot Osborne's taken the ball right off his head with a really good piece of defending, and also the second goal that they probably should have scored before they won the corner. So plenty of threat from Tamworth in the latter stages. Yeah,
set pieces, they're very strong from set pieces. I mean, you look at when they're making the subs as well. Manny Duku coming on, Ponchialetti coming on, and McGlinchey. Experienced players who are proven at the level, and we've not been able to replicate that. So we've got to do much better. We still, as much as I'm hurting, still believe in the group, and I know with the players returning, hopefully that'll solidify us, because it looks like on a game like tonight we were crying out for experienced players being on the pitch and taking the game by the scruff of the neck and dealing with situations, and we weren't able to do that. Me included, I've not been good enough tonight. The players haven't been good enough tonight. The fans were brilliant. I know it's really tough for them at the moment. They're not used to this. The group that we put together shouldn't be in this position, but when you're down there, things don't go for you. Referee decisions, not putting the ball in the back of the net when you should, and as soon as we stop believing in the group, then it could turn into a horror show, but I don't think it'll go that way. It's been a bad night tonight. The resilient young bunch, that's what you get with a young group. They'll bounce back. We brought in a new player in Jack Hinchy, who I believe will really improve us in the midfield area and help us get over the line in games. I think he's got a lot of qualities that we've probably been missing. Sam Barnes returning, as I said, Ollie and Carell. So it's been a big learning curve for a lot of the lads as well, in terms of how important it is that we have everybody available at all times, because we can't be like that. That can't be what we're churning out if we've got a couple of players missing. We've got to be much better than that, and to take the lead and not see it through at home is just not acceptable, not good enough, and the performance I can't defend either.
Normally when we take the lead we carry on the front foot. We didn't seem to do that tonight. We seemed to go into our shell a little bit, slowed the pace of the game down, and to be fair to Tamworth, they were good enough to take advantage of that.
They were. Tamworth with a better team tonight. They executed their game plan brilliantly. They deserve a lot of credit, but they're taking advantage of us, a stuttering Altrincham team at the moment. So as much as I can see the light at the end of the tunnel with the performances of late up until tonight, that's a big step back for us, and that's something that's got to hurt us. We've got to really assess that. Everyone's got to look at themselves, why that's happened. It won't be difficult. We haven't defended our box well enough, and we haven't created enough in the opposition box. We've been brilliant in the middle for the majority of the season. Our possession stats are right up there with the best in the division, but our defensive stats aren't, and our attacking stats are up there as well, but stats mean nothing if you don't execute. So we've got to do better in both boxes in particular. Got to keep believing, got to stick together, because now is the really tough time. This is where the character of the team, the club, will be really tested. So we always speak about being in it together and sticking together. We're really tested now, because we're not used to this. We haven't had this for a long time. And I truly believe that we can surge up the division when we get a few results, but it doesn't feel like that right now. It feels lower than low. It feels, like I said, like a big step back tonight.
And it's not new territory for us, because 3 seasons ago we were at this stage of the season, we were climbing off the bottom of the table when we went 10 games without winning a game, and then we had that big game against Aldershot. It feels as if Wealdstone is a similar game on Saturday.
They're all big now. They're all big. We've lost too many games. We need to win, not draw. So obviously we'll take a draw. You'll take anything when you've gone 5 defeats on the bounce. It's so difficult to even say them words. I look at the opposition we played, and I can sort of not justify it, understand it to a degree, but not tonight. Not just because it's Tamworth coming here, because we expect so much more from that group with the performances that we've seen this season. But you can't disrespect anyone in this division. Tamworth are a team that will beat a lot of teams because of their expertise at what they do, from long throws, from corners, and they've hurt, as I said, a stuttering Altrincham team tonight. When we were in the lead, we should see the game through, but a little bit of lack of understanding, experience, probably a little bit thin. We've not been able to fill the bench for a couple of games through players not being available, illness, injury, not having a centre half to bring on there when they're getting bigger, bringing on, as I said, Manny Duku and taking off Anura off. It's something that you can see is going to be a problem for us, and we didn't deal with it well enough, and we've got to start dealing with those types of situations a lot better. But like I said, there'll be reasons, but I'm not going to stand in front of you and cite them. We've got to be far better than what we're showing there.
And in each of the last 2 seasons we have gone 5 straight defeats, and 2 seasons ago we still reached the playoffs. So it just goes to show what a marathon the National League is. It
is, but there is no positives to take tonight. We were really poor, not good enough, and I do appreciate you trying to find that for me, but I'm not going to accept any kind of positive outlook tonight. We've got to hurt from that. That's way below what's expected from our fans, from our board, who've supported brilliantly this season, and we've got to do better as a group, because the football on the pitch has always been the thing that's been driving this football club over the last couple of years, and now we're letting everyone down with the results, not the performances, but the performances tonight, and like I said, everyone's got to stand up and be counted now.